Hi, I'm Alex. We're on Zwift, training on race mode ready. If you're into challenges, watts, and virtual pain, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's roll. This week on Zwift was one of those weeks that reminds you why you love cycling, but also how challenging it can be to fit it into everyday life. Between lighter training sessions and some that were definitely more demanding, I managed to complete all of them. It wasn't always easy, especially because my job takes up about 12 hours of my day. Between work, commuting, and everything that comes before and after, a big part of the day is already gone. And then of course there are all the other things in daily life that need attention. At the end of the day, when I finally get on the bike on the trainer, I often don't have a lot of mental energy left. But something interesting always happens. Once I start pedaling, even if I begin tired, after a few minutes the feeling changes. The body wakes up, the mind focuses, and slowly the workout starts to take shape. During the week I alternated easier sessions with much harder ones, especially the race simulation workouts. Those are the sessions that really require focus, rhythm, and sometimes a bit of courage, because you know that at some point you'll have to push harder than you would like. And in the middle of the week I also had a small setback. I caught a cold. Nothing too serious, just the classic kind of cold that makes you feel a bit slower than usual. In those moments the temptation to skip a workout is always there. But training indoors with Zwift made things easier to manage. I could control the intensity, stay warm, and still move without making the situation worse. In a way, I think riding in a controlled way actually helped me not get worse. It wasn't really about performance that day. It was more about consistency, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. What I'm really enjoying about these weeks is the race simulation training. They're not just simple interval workouts. They feel more like a small story that develops on the bike. There are moments when you need to stay protected in the group, moments when you have to react to attacks, and others when you simply have to hold on and survive. And the interesting thing is that every weekend I feel like I've improved slightly. I'm not talking about huge improvements, but small signals. Maybe the ability to hold a certain pace a little longer. Or recovering a bit faster between efforts. Maybe part of it is psychological. When you train consistently, you start believing more in your abilities. But at the same time I think there is also a real physical improvement happening week after week as the body adapts. At the end of the week I decided to test all of this with a small Zwift race. Nothing extraordinary, but enough to understand where I currently stand. I tried to apply a strategy very similar to the one I use in training: start controlled, stay with the group as long as possible, and manage my efforts during the key moments. During the race there were difficult moments, as always. When the pace goes up and your legs start burning, the temptation to let a few meters go was very strong. But I tried to stay focused and stick to the plan. In the end, the result was exactly in line with what I expected. It wasn't a spectacular result, but it was realistic for my current level. And for that reason it actually made me quite satisfied. The best part is that by the end of the week I also saw a small improvement in my FTP. It wasn't a huge jump, but it's still a positive sign. It shows that the work I've been doing, even with long workdays and moments of fatigue, is moving in the right direction. And maybe that's the real result of this week. Not the final number, not the position in the race, but the consistency. Training, adapting to unexpected situations, finding time and energy even when it feels difficult. And in the end realizing that, little by little, something is improving. Thanks for riding with me today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to support the channel and to make sure you never miss a new ride, workout, or crazy indoor challenge I decide to try. And hey, share this video with your cycling buddies, your group chat, your indoor training friends, basically anyone who owns a bike, a trainer, or just loves watching someone sweat on the internet. Remember, if I can do it, absolutely anyone can. Trust me. I'm living proof that determination beats perfection every single time. So keep pedaling, keep smiling, and I'll see you in the next ride.